And good evening, everyone out there in Twitch land, and then later on WebDM Plays in YouTube land. I'm Pruitt, your DM for the evening, and this is Starward Bound, the incredible journey. First, I want to go around to cast and crew, tell us how you're doing and who you're playing, and then we'll do a quick recap and then jump right into the action. So starting off with you, Emma. How's it going?
Hey, Pruitt, it's good now that I'm here. I've been looking forward to this all week because I wish to liberate the hamster. It's going to be good.
Oh, yeah. Gonna get a little Hellion action?
Little Hellion action. How are you doing, Pruitt?
I've been better.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That's neither here nor there. And who are you going to be playing this evening?
I'm going to be playing Hildegard, level 4 Forge Cleric, and the captain of the Dawn Rose, as far as we know right now.
Yes. Awesome. Next, we'll take it over to Trey. How's it going, man?
Yo, what is going down? Yes, here we go. This is without a doubt, like I said before, this is my Super Bowl. So I'm ready to get this thing up and running. Let's get some kickoff. But more importantly, free Hellion. That's what's going down. Yo, so my character... free Hellion. So my character is Daku. He's a half elf monk, and he's pretty dope. So let's get this thing rolling.
Awesome. And we'll go ahead and take that over to you, Greg. How's it going, man?
Oh, I'm doing well, buddy. I'm doing well. I'm not real sure I'm all on board with this hashtag free Hellion stuff. This requires going up against the Gnomish Mafia, which, as we all know, is the worst mafia to go up against because you can't see them coming, literally.
Because there is no mafia.
Right. And especially the day before his grand opening, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Anyway, I'm going to be playing the Arcane Trickster, 4th level, Elry Tossbottle, Halfling, and firm believer that space hamsters found in the sewer can just go away.
All right, so there seems to be some dissent in the ranks as to the possible future of Hellion. Last but not least, Kiana, how is it going?
It's been good. I'm finally on my mini vacation from school and work, which has been super nice. Has also been a hectic week somehow at the same time. But, always super excited to be here and playing with these super awesome people. I will be playing your favorite non-binary, binary-coded Warforged Storm Herald Barbarian, E404, who is kind of in legal trouble right now. So they're going to have to deal with the other child of the group, essentially, and trying to get them out of trouble. It's going to be interesting. I also, I did promise last week that if somebody drew me a picture of E404 in a gangster suit, that there would eventually be a gangster suit that E44 would purchase. So that will come up at some point. It'll come up at some point. Because it was the best fucking fan art I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that art was pretty awesome. I don't have the person in front of me. I know it was Jarl something at Jarl. Anyway, we're gonna find that and we're gonna give him a shout out as soon as we can. So anyway, just to let y'all know, I'm gonna try as hard as I can. I got a bit of an upper respiratory infection setting in, so we're gonna give it everything we got tonight. A bit of a recap before we get started. The group found their way up to the rock by means of heroism. On the Dawn Rose, they got there. They negotiated for the sale of the Nogogi Death Spider that they had commandeered, in which E404 was integral into that rescue. In doing so, the negotiation for the sale of that craft, Elry was managed to supplant the captain with his own Captain Hilda. And so he was able to negotiate for Hilda to be the captain of the Dawn Rose and take a small lump sum compared to what the vessel's actually worth in payment. The crew then went about the rock, went on an adventure down in the sewers, killed a giant space hamster, took a couple of the babies, went and saw a gnomish mob to try to find out something about Dakul's heritage. Dakul traded one of the said baby space hamsters for that said knowledge. And then they were summoned to meet with Burke, which is a dwarven lawyer from the Mining Guild, to discuss E404, because the Mining Guild wants to get their grubby little hands on that robot. And so, without any further gilding the lily, we're going to start in the offices of the diplomats there on the rock. You are in the main chamber of the diplomats' quarter. There's a long wooden table, like 4 or 5 chairs on either side. Zofia Sill is sitting at the head of the table, seeing as she is the mediator. You have the dwarves down one side, our heroes sitting down the other. And we begin with Zofia Sill as she is addressing all parties involved. Well, Burke has made his case to me in private, but I will allow him to speak as we get started. And then E404, will you be representing yourself, or will you have someone speaking for you?
He says, I still do not know what I need to be representing myself for.
Well, she turns back over to Burke across the table from you, E, and he's rifling through his briefcase and actually, like, he seems like slightly exasperated. Well, I'm here because we have witness statements from the rescue, and he says that with a slight amount of derision, of the slaves from the Nyogi Death Spider. This group, I admit, they saved the folks from the outlying town, but that, and he points right at you, E, that was responsible for the deaths of those enslaved crew. That is the reason why we are here. That was found in our minds. We just want to inspect it. We want to learn from it. We want to replicate it. If I'm being honest, I just want to be upfront and forthright with you, Ambassador Sill. But this is paramount to the Mining Guild's future. And I have witness statements, though my associates seem to have misplaced them. And he looks down the line of his compatriots, and they're all just kind of, they're looking through their briefcases, and it's like, but we can bring the witnesses here if necessary. I leave it to you, Ambassador Sill, to use your wisdom, granted from your extremely long life, to rule where justice should be served here. It was our land, it was our mines. That should be ours. And he points one more time at E404, and then he goes to sit down. The ambassador gives him a nod at the last compliment and turns and looks over down the line of our heroes here, looking from E to Hilda. Well, you have heard the gentleman's reasons. What say you in this matter?
Prove you allow. I think before getting to here, I'm going to put the link in chat because I found the image.
Awesome.
He was convinced to go look presentable and is therefore currently wearing a suit jacket, a tie, and a hat alongside the flowers that Elry gave them. So this is a great outfit. Clearly, perfect for court, obviously.
Real quick, just a point of reference, something that Elry would already know, but correct me if I'm wrong, correct Greg, who's old and forgetful, but Hildy found E404, correct?
Yes, that was I'll let her talk about that here in the
I was just checking that for my notes.
Oh yeah. Yes, Hilda's the one that found it.
So he is dressed nicely, ? Thank you, upside down acid. Appreciate it a lot. And say, why would you want to replicate me? That seems like an odd request.
Look at you. Look at you're marvelous. We could imagine what we could do with a fleet of E's. Imagine E1 and E2 and E3. Like, the dangers to our miners would be minuscule. We could send you into any mine. We could send you to any asteroid out in the void without the need for. You don't need oxygen, I assume. Is that correct?
No,
you could go to war.
And he kind of scribbles some notes, like when she verifies that that E does not need oxygen.
Elry walks up and holds E404's hand and looks over at Burke and says, well, you could do all that and you could go to war if you wanted to. And he looks over at Ambassador Still.
Which you see, it's almost imperceptible, but she cracks the slightest smile on the side of the face that is facing Elry at making that point. And Burke, listen, I'm a simple lawyer. Okay, I work for a mining guild. I don't work for any kind of sovereign entity like a nation state or anything like that. I represent my clients. Okay, I cannot speak to any going to war. Why would a mining company go to war? I mean, that's so far fetched. That's just out there. Anybody could do anything. I mean, y'all could go. You're armed to the teeth here, sitting at this table. You could go to war right now. I mean, that just seems like a moot point at this juncture.
Right, because your motivation is completely sympathetic to the social society that you exhibit. You're not going to try to make more money off the other miners of the other races, or trade. Wait, wasn't there something called a trade war at one point? I don't know. I'm just a halfling.
There's trade war. Trade wars don't do anything for anyone. They just hurt the people buying the products. We know this. I'm representing the miners. I'm looking out for their safety. Sending them in now, we would send them into a dangerous area. We could send in a group of E's, and they could take care of the whole place, and we wouldn't have to worry about anyone getting injured.
Well, I'm going to defer to my captain here in a second, but I distinctly remember that Captain DeCool over here when we commandeered the spider ship, he was awarded rights of salvage for getting said ship. And why didn't you claim those when you found E404?
Well, technically, under the agreement with the Merchants Guild, they had information to go to a specific spot in our mines. So, anything that was claimed there of inanimate value was theirs. But as you
Inanimate
can see,
value?
this is very animate.
Okay.
So it's not covered under the original contract.
Where is that?
Oh, and he takes the contract out, and I mean it's about, I don't know.
Could you show where E404 signed that?
I'm sorry?
Where did E404 make its mark on that contract? Or where did my captain, Hildy, make her mark on that contract?
And he flips to near the end, and there's Hilda's signature on it. I mean, the robot would not have signed it. I mean, that was what was found. I mean, the contract was signed before we ever went on the expedition.
Burke, it sounds an awful lot like you're making an argument that because E has life, you get to use them as a machine. Is that what you're getting at?
Well, just because something is animated does not mean that it is alive. I mean,
what's the difference?
There's a bit of distinction between that.
Feel free to explain the difference. I'd like to hear what you think the difference is.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get into a bunch of legalese with, not non-lawyers, but and at this point, y'all hear off to your side, to the door going out to the front. You hear, not quite sure. There's a bit of loud talking coming from the antechamber, the entrance of the diplomatic quarter. And Burke, he stops for a second, shakes his head. Anyway, as I was saying, there's a slight difference between an animate object and a living object. I mean, you go to any mage's college and you're going to see things animated left and right, by magic or the gnomes and their clockwork gears. I mean, so as you can see, there are many different definitions to animate and to non-animate. So, and at this point, you hear a loud shriek from the antechamber. Off to your side, as y'all turn and look, and the door to the diplomat's quarter bursts open, and in rushes a group of pirates, very familiar pirates, very familiar from the bar. When y'all came out of the sewer, you recognize a couple of them up front. So that's where we're going to start here. If I could get initiative from everyone right up front, as there are shrieks and cries from the antechamber, from the administrative assistant that sits out there and assigns people to where they're going to go. But it looks like about 4 or 5 men have burst in, and from the back you can hear the familiar sounds of a certain captain. I'll just get in there and you just take them. And that's where we're going to start. So if I could get initiative from everyone. Greg, what are you at?
17, sir.
17 for Ellery. Kiana?
I'm at an 8. Solid 8.
Emma?
14.
Dakul?
So sorry, everyone. I had a slight technical difficulty. 16.
16 for your initiative. Okay. So, Ellery, you will be first. Since you did hear some of the noise, like, you aren't necessarily surprised by this, but in the first action, the door bursts open and 4 men rush in, cutlasses drawn, teeth bared, and they are all like turning and looking at E404.
Ellery has half. Yeah, Ellery has half a mind to be like, go get them. But since are they in a line, Pruitt? So can I go and get one of them on the end and then be able to bonus back out if I want to?
Yeah, they both, the 4 of them kind of formed a loose half circle in front of the door, and their sword, like I said, their swords are drawn. It looks like more coming from the antechamber. Looking through there, you can kind of make out the image of Haskell Harlequin, the captain, with his large hat plumed with a big feather from some bird you've never seen. And so that's where you are. Yes, you would be able to like move up, attack, and then move away if you wanted. Yes.
Okay, that's what Ellery wants to do. He is going to, without hesitation, go in towards the one on the end, and he will shout out, "I knew we hadn't seen the last of Captain Asshole Harkin!" And he attacks, and since I'm the first to go, I get advantage, right?
Yes. I'll allow it.
I don't think I'm going to need it. I'm not. That's going to be a 25 to hit.
Oh,
natural 19. Yeah. Okay, so that is where's my 8? Nice. Okay, so that's 9 points of damage plus my sneak attack since I went first, right? And that is going to be another 8 points of damage. So that's 17 on the first guy.
All right.
And is he still up?
Yes, he is still up. You struck him a mighty blow because you have a rapier, yes?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, you come up and you stab him like in the low gut, and he's like trying to take a swipe at you as you're are you disengaging to move away?
I'm going to bonus disengage and I'm going to run under the table.
Okay, yeah. So just for simplicity's sake, just so y'all know, y'all were sitting on, we'll say, the south side of this table. The dwarves were sitting on the northern side of the table when you look at the image of the map or the room. So yes, Ellery dashes up to the guy on the very bottom, stabs him in the gut, and as he pulls his blade out, a spurt of hot blood like comes out and drips on the floor, and he's like, "God, you little son of a bitch!" And from outside you hear Haskell. "It's Haskell Hawken," as he corrects your insult.
I was right. As he runs under the table.
Okay. Dakul, you are next.
No man shall put hands on my brethren, Ellery. I will focus my sword on the man that dared to stand against my own people. Unsheath my sword. Give it a small caress, for I know where it is going to end up. And attack. For 16.
16 does hit.
Yes.
Yeah, these guys are wearing just like simple like leather armor. It's very pretty basic.
$10 damage.
Okay, are you attacking the same guy that Ellery attacked?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to roll for my unarmed strike too.
Okay, yeah, you come up and you slash him, like you cut right on the piercing wound that Ellery had struck, and so you just kind of cut right across that and just open his gut up a little bit, and he's like, oh my God, and he's trying to hold his guts in, he's barely clinging.
I see that he has already felt the taste of my blade. Now he shall feel the taste of my boot as I turn around and come across his chest for hopefully a final and crushing blow. 13.
13 just hits.
Right. And that hits for 9.
For 9 more? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. You just slash across his stomach, and then you continue the turn into a spin sidekick, and you catch him right in the chest as he falls down. You hear the crunch of his sternum as the impact hits him, and then he slams against the wall behind him and just slides down as the cutlass slips from his grasp, and he slips from this life. And the first one is down. And his compatriots look over at that and look at DeCool. Hilda, you're up next.
All right, Hilda takes out her mace. She's in her shiny new plate mail from the Amorous Armorer. And as she is kind of just rubbing her warhammer for a second, she tells Berg, "You might want to get under the table. These guys are feeling rather animated, I think." And she, all of a sudden, her warhammer begins to glow like it's been in a forge. It gets red and then it gets white hot. And she goes up to the next one and says, "I'm real sorry you wanted to do this right now." And gives them a hit. Probably / hopefully. All right, just a second. Oh, natural 1. That's what I get for being cocky.
Yeah, that's what you get for being cocky. Yeah, you swing the hammer at this guy, and he just kind of ducks out of the way, and you hit the corner of the table and take a chunk off the table itself. And there's
Does it hit Burke's head?
No, it doesn't hit Burke's head. They're kind of still at the other end of the table, but it looks like they are ducking under. A couple of dwarves run straight back to the there's offices lining each side of this room, and a couple of dwarves kind of run into those offices. Bert and his main dwarf right hand man, they're both ducked under the table, and you also see Zofia Sill kind of drop down, and she's looking over the table but staying hidden. Okay, so Hilda, that's you. Did you want to do anything with your bonus?
I already did when I cast Searing Smite.
Oh, right. Okay. And next is E404. So a group of men have burst into the room. They're mostly looking at you.
Okay. He had no idea why. They have no self-awareness. So I know Elrie just ducked on the table. I saw one guy go down.
Yep.
Hilda just did not hit the guy.
Yep.
At all.
Yep.
And is there somebody right up in my grill yet? Oh, sorry, Prue.
No, you're at least a move away from you'd be able to get to the guy that Hilda was trying to hit. But that's gonna be right at the edge of your move.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. They're gonna go over to next to Hilda, and they're gonna hold their action because they're very confused. They don't know what's going on. They're we thought this was going to be a debate, but now there's fighting. What's happening? And so they're gonna just go show up for Hilda, hold on to any action unless they see any of their friends getting hit.
Okay. You're holding your action. Are you holding your action? What is the action that you're holding?
It will be an attack.
Okay. If someone
an intervention if somebody tries to attack one of my other friends.
Okay, cool. So now it is the pirate's turn, and quickly the guy that is in front of Hilda is he's taking a swing. So he's gonna take a swing at Hilda. And actually a couple swings. Hilda, does a 18 hit you?
It does not. AC is 20 right now.
Oh, right. So yes, his cutlass makes a shrieking noise as it scratches off of Hilda's shield twice as he takes 2 slashes and says a curse under his breath. The other 2 guys that are in the room move over. One of them is coming at you, E, and the other is moving towards DeCool. So if one guy did attack one of your friends, did you want to go ahead and take your reaction attack?
Yeah. At that point,
Okay.
E will kind of just try to grapple this guy.
Okay.
So I will roll that athletics, which is a 7.
Okay. Well, I got a. Oh wait, no. The strength, that's going to be an 8. So yeah, you try to reach out and grab him, and he kind of pushes you off and keeps his distance with his cutlass as he kind of slips out of your grapple.
Okay.
But like I said, one guy comes up on DeCool. Ooh, shit. So a 22 hits you, and then I also got a crit on you, DeCool. So that's going to be a total of 15 damage as this one guy sees you, you basically like cut down his one of his friends, and he's like, "It's just for Billy," and he like slashes at you twice, striking deep with the second strike. E, the holy crap. Okay. Does a 20 hit you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got one hit, and then I got a crit. So,
God fucking
wow,
jeez.
yeah, and so so that's gonna be 15 damage to E as well.
Ow. Okay.
Yeah, and so that one guy hit that, and then from out in the entryway, there are you hear the thwang of crossbows. As a volley of crossbows flies in the room, like shooting at the dwarves that are running inside. A couple of them slam into the chair of Zofia Sill, and a couple of them come at both E. Like one goes at E and one goes at Hilda, because they're the only two kind of in the entryway that they can see. DeCool's kind of over to the side, but a 18 does not hit Hilda, and that's crappy. So they both fire wide, and you hear from the entryway like Haskell Harkin screaming like, "Get in there and you get that fucking robot and get the gold!" And so more men are now coming into the as 4 more guys come in the room. And so they move in after that. It looks like they're dropping crossbows as they're moving in and drawing sabers or cutlasses, whatever you like to hear. And so now we're going to swing it back around. Elry, top of the initiative. There are now 7 guys kind of cluttered around this entryway here, 3 of which are engaged, 1 each with your compatriots. The other 4 are moving into support. And you can still see from your vantage point under the table. You can kind of see between the legs and into the entryway. It looks like there's a guy on each side of the doorway, like reloading their crossbows. And you can kind of see Haskell Harkin like peeking his head out. And you see him reaching and drawing a weapon. You're not quite sure if you've ever seen anything quite like it. It looks like a crossbow with no cross-piece. But that's the best way I can, like a hand crossbow, but there is no bow moving across. But you see him like pulling that up and moving up behind, and he's continuing to like scream like, "Get in there!"
Okay,
it's back to you.
Couple questions.
Go for it.
There was no mention of the contract being swept off the table as soon as the attack ensued, because we were still perusing it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I want that. So,
okay.
I would like to, let's see. I am going to, are you going to allow me? Okay. If I pop up on the table, can I grab the contract with normal movement? Like as I pass by, like pick it up? It'd be the same. Wouldn't that be like a free, like drawing a weapon's a free? Wouldn't that be just picking something up, like picking a rock up? I think the player's handbook says, as I Grimjack 215 Esquire. Right?
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what, to get around all the clutter and up on the table to grab that, I'll let you do that if you give me an acrobatics check, because there is a lot of clutter that you have to kind of weave in between.
Okay.
So if you give me an acrobatics check, I will let you do it with just one move. Like get to the contract and pick it up.
Okay. And then would that cost me my action and bonus, or is that just movement at that point? Movement and
No,
free?
that's like your movement and drawing a weapon. That's free. That's just you're not really interacting with it. You're just grabbing it.
That is a 25. 19 plus 6.
Okay, yeah, you definitely like slide between the chair legs and pop up on the table and like scurry down there and snatch up the contract. And so you are standing either next to the table or on it. Which are you? Are you on the table?
I would like to be on the table, and I would like to attack the one that's in front of, I guess it would be either E404 or Hildy compared. I know they're both in front of the door, so I'd like to attack whichever one was had just pelted them for 15, or Dakul got hit for 15 too. I don't know which one you'll allow me to get to. Whatever one I can reach from the tabletop is what I'm going to get, and then I'm going to go somewhere else.
With your crossbow?
No, with rapier and...
Okay, so here's the thing, though. If you look on the map there, where the papers are, y'all were at that end of the table. So you had to run from the door on the far right. See what I mean? You had to run to that end of the table, and that was one move. So you could, I would say you could make a crossbow, like you could attack with your crossbow.
My short bow. I'll take a short bow strike at him. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go for the one that's by E404.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh, that isn't the best thing that I've ever done. I'm going to use my last and final luck. That's a little bit better. 14?
14 does hit, yes.
Okay. And 8 plus... Oh, 18 points of damage.
And that's the one on Hilda or E?
E404, because E's going to need to go full berserk here if they're going to.
Okay. So, and you did. I'm sorry, you said it was 15.
18 total.
18. Okay, cool. Yep. Yeah, your arrow slams into his upper chest near his left shoulder, and and he kind of like clutches it, looking back, and he's like, "You dead little halfling!" But he's currently engaged with a giant robot, so.
And I'm going to hide.
Okay.
Which is 25. 17 plus 8.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to kind of roll off the table with the last little bit of your movement and kind of fall into one of the chairs. So you are obscured from view. But down there, just so you know, you see you're like right next to Burke. Because I mean,
hey,
you did grab,
buddy.
Yeah. And he's kind of like looking at you and looking down there, and he's like, "Is this normal for y'all?"
No, I'm not a lawyer.
There'll be hell to pay for this. And then we'll move on to Dakul, as this guy just comes up, and you just killed his friend. What was it, Timmy or Jimmy?
I did kill a Timmy.
Billy.
It was Billy.
Yeah. So yeah, you just killed this guy's friend Billy, and he just cut you a good one. So it is your turn.
Take the blow. But my monk training has prepared me to handle such situations as this. In no time, the best alternative to taking a blow is to pull the jade that is behind my ear. Light it ever so slowly while concentrating. In looking at the foes, you said there are 7 of them that have run inside of this room.
It's very true. Yes, that is exactly
I see these 7 all clumped together.
Yeah, they're in a pretty tight clump too.
I take my rolled cigar and pull ever so slowly while concentrating on the one in the middle. And the only thought in my head is from my monk training of the continuous amazing art of the fairy fire.
Mm-hmm. And you exhale. All right. A thick smoke envelops the group of pirates, and that's a dex save. Yes. DC, what's your DC?
+5.
Well, I'm sorry.
My dex save. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, the DC for your fairy fire.
It's 12.
12. Okay. Okay. And that's a 20-foot cube?
Yes.
Okay, this is actually good enough to get the guys out in the hallway too.
Oh.
Okay, so of the guys remaining, 3 of them passed their save. The 3 guys, like literally the 3 guys that y'all are engaged with right now, passed their save. Everyone else has smoke kind of clinging to them, and they're coughing and like waving it out of their face, and otherwise kind of distracted as your fairy fog has taken effect on them. And so yes, you did manage to catch everyone but the 3 main guys that you are with.
Okay. All right. So that's there's 7 that we see. So there's 4 in the room that we know that we caught, and then you said there was some in the hall that we haven't seen, or am I making too many assumptions?
Well, I mean, Elry has seen them technically. Like from where you are, you can see one of them on kind of ducking behind the door frame. Looks like he's reloading his crossbow, and you can kind of hear coughing from someone else besides him out in the hallway. So there are the 3 guys in here. There are the 4 that just came in. So there's 7 in the room. There's 2 out in the antechamber, the entryway. And of those 9, you were able to catch 6 of them with this. So
excellent.
So that's your action, yes?
Yes, that is my action.
And do you want to do anything with your bonus action?
With my bonus action, I would like it to take a defensive stance.
Okay, so you're going to spend 1 key to take the dodge
yes.
action? Okay,
cool. That's correct.
That's probably good. Okay. Next up, we're going to have Hilda as
All right.
you're engaged with this guy.
Yes. Hilda is going to take another shot with her searing smite that is still searing hot. All right. Put away the one that rolled a 1 last time.
Now she rolls with advantage, correct?
Yep. Actually, no. Because remember the 3 guys
the first 3
were
right
engaged with, it did not get them.
All right.
They were the only 3 to pass their save.
Rolled a 4 that time, so it's better than 1. But I don't guess a 10 hits them, does it?
It does not. It manages to get just out of the way of your hammer as it swings past his head.
Ugh, that's really annoying. Well, at this point, let me see. I don't think there's anything else I can do. That's a minute. That's an action. That's an action. Nope. She's just going to stand there looking very angry at them and frustrated that she can't roll very well today. Yeah.
Okay. So that is Hilda. E404, it is your turn.
Oh boy, this will be fun. So the hits impact onto them. And at that point, there's some calculating going in their head as their mind kind of goes blank as smoke starts to rise, as they start to heat up red. Their eyes are flashing as they look at the guy in front of them. They look at Dakul, who had just been really heavily hurt.
Yep.
And they're gonna go into a rage. And within the 10-foot radius, people are going to take damage. I need to remember how much damage that is. So yeah, 2 points of fire damage to anyone within 10-foot aura.
And is that at the beginning or the end of your turn, or does it matter?
I don't think it really matters.
Okay.
I think it's just during my turn, whoever's in that aura.
Okay. So all these guys and all of you up there next to E, y'all all take some damage as heat begins radiating off of them.
Yeah, and there's a whirring sound as their arm transforms from a hand into a hammer. And they are going to just try to smash this guy in front of them. Okay. No, they're mad. So that's a 22.
22 does hit.
And that's max damage, so that's 14 points of damage.
Okay, so this is the guy that Elry had slammed with his bow. So how do you want to do this for this guy?
I mean, it's really just hammer down.
Down? Yeah, so you just
whack-a-mole.
Yeah, you come straight down on his head, and his neck ends with the beginning of your hammer after this, as it just kind of, there's just like a pop, and you know, it's pretty gruesome when you pop someone's head with a hammer like that. But he just kind of slumps, drops to his knees, and falls back, and his compatriots like look down and then look up at E. And
yeah, and as she goes down, E goes, termination process has been initiated, and looks over, scanning towards where the stupid frickin' captain is.
Okay. Yeah, you anyone who's like kind of right there, you can kind of see like Harkin's eyes kind of go wide a little bit, and the people around there, they like are kind of looking at each other for a bit, and you know, the guys in the back that came in to reinforce the front lines, they kind of look over their shoulder, and Harkin's like, you get in there right now and you get that thing. And with that, like, this is when you see him, like Elry had seen this before, but he pulls out this, it's almost like a hand crossbow with long and tubular, and it ends in a blue crystal. And you can see him like cock the hammer back and pulls this trigger, and a bolt of blue light fires out. And E, what's your AC?
It's a 16.
16? Okay. Yeah, it goes just past your head and slams into the wall, and there's a pop and a hiss of energy. And he like curses, and you see him cock it again and fire one more time. That is gonna hit though.
Okay.
So you take 8 force damage as this thing slams into your chest, and you know, like, you just kind of like look at it and look back. I mean, I don't know that you've ever seen anything quite like this.
No, he had no idea what this is.
Yeah.
But
and so
they just know that the captain is the biggest threat right now. And
that's most certainly. And after he fires a couple of times, you see him kind of like duck back away from y'all's line of sight, because y'all are kind of, again, you're near the door, but kind of justified to the right a little bit. And so you see him move over, so you cannot see him now as he moves back behind. And then he does manage to get his men into action, and they move up in support. Dakul, you're taking the dodge action as another guy joins that guy. And both of them miss. E404, you have 2 guys move up on you. Your AC is 16. You only take 1 hit for 5 damage.
And because I'm enraged, that's halved, I'm guessing, because it's okay.
Yeah, this is just normal slashing damages. They're just normal cutlasses. And Hilda, your AC is 20. So the guy that moved up on you, excuse me, sorry, he misses. And then you have the 2 crossbows. They pop back in, and one of them looks like he's firing at Sophia Sill at the back, and then the other one is firing at E. And his crossbow string, actually, you hear twang as his crossbow string breaks, and he curses. So that is their turn. So now we're back around to the top of the initiative. Sorry, with Elry.
Okay, they're all clumped together, so we have 5 remaining pirates and the captain, correct? You said there was 2 outside. Have they engaged, or are they?
We had 7 inside. E killed 1, so that's 6 inside now and 2 outside, plus the captain. There's been 2 deaths.
Elry usually wears a smile, and that smile is fading a bit as he sees the punishment that his friends are taking. Okay, go with me here, as I am going to try to do something incredibly stupid. That
This is always my favorite. I love it when Greg says that.
Okay, so I have access to the under table, and by that I mean the floor. So I can kind of travel and traverse down underneath the table. Okay, what Elry would like to do is he would like to get down past the front line of his friends to where the captain and everybody's kind of clustered and kind of in and out of the door right there. And he would like to pour out 1,000 ball bearings as he just spills them out as they roll towards the door, creating hopefully a very hazardous ability to travel and perhaps granting advantage to my friends that are disadvantaged to their attacks. Or what he's trying to do is he's trying to, and I don't know what that the ball bearings has a special effect, and I don't know if it's just difficult terrain, but does difficult terrain cause disadvantage on attacks, or is it advantage on attacks against them?
Well, mechanically, it's just disadvantage. I'm sorry, it's difficult terrain, so it costs twice as much movement. And if you try to move through it in ball bearings normally, I believe that you have to make a DC 12 dex save or fall prone.
Right. And so, that's what it is. And then once prone, then they have the prone effect on them. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's advantage to hit them. Although most of these guys are already under the effects of Dakul's Fairy Fog, so you already have advantage to hit all but 2 of these guys. But it would create a great area of difficult terrain that could cause them to fall, as far as movement for reinforcing each other or retreat or anyone else coming in the room. Yeah, definitely. It would make it harder for any of that to happen.
Let's try this instead. He's going to throw out one of his flasks of oil, and he would like to throw it on the captain. And he would like to, because it's very hot where he is, he wants him to burst into flames. So can we try that?
Okay, just so you know, remember the captain moved, and he's behind the door frame. He moved out of the view of your
he went back and back.
Right? And so from where you are, you cannot see the captain any longer. He kind of moved. You saw him move from your left to right, and now he's on that side of the door frame.
Then let me get the middle guy in the back line of the 4 that are engulfed in the fairy fog.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, sure.
So I get advantage on that attack, which is just like a...
Oh, you're just trying to lob a thing of oil on him? Okay.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, you would get advantage on that attack, and yeah.
And what's the modifier for a throw? Is it just dex?
It'd just be your dex.
Okay, it's 18. 14 plus 4.
I mean, you're just kind of pop the cork on this oil and chunk it, and it splashes all over him. How close did you get to the group of people? Do you fall within E's radius of heat?
I believe it's on E's turn that everybody takes that damage, and I don't intend to be there on E's turn. Okay. He pops out, throws the oil, and then ducks back under the table highway. Okay. And uses his movement to kind of get around the table. And if I can bonus action hide, I'm going to do so.
Yeah, you can most certainly do that.
The bonus action for the hide is 17.
Okay. You pop out and you douse this guy in oil, and he curse you, and then you slink off under the table, all John McClane style, and hide once more. And so now it is Dakul. You have 2 guys on you. You easily parried all of their attacks this last round as you took a full defensive action, and they look rather frustrated. You're muted.
Thank you.
Oh, no worries.
I do not want to waste this fantastic accent on a mute. No, bro. All right, so I got the 2 people that's in front of me, right? They're pretty upset that they missed. And how far away is the guy that's been covered in oil from Elry? Or is he one of the 2 that I'm fighting?
No, he's not one of the 2 that you're fighting. Elry got one of the guys that moved up in support on Hilda.
Ah, okay. All right. All right, well, So I got the two in front of me, and the guy that's in oil, that's by Hilda. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Okay. This is perfect. An excellent opportunity for me. I still rely on my trusty blade, and the first guy that is closest to me, I would like to slash him with my sword across the chest, just to let him know who he is messing with.
Okay. So you're continuing to attack the guy before that is not currently, because you have one guy that isn't, one guy that is affected by your fairy fire. So I just want to make sure which one you're attacking.
The one that's affected by my fairy fire.
Okay, so the new guy. So you're gonna attack him. Okay.
Yes. All right. 25.
Oh yeah.
All right. So with the first strike with the sword, it's 12. Oh, sorry, I didn't get the proficiency. No, there's no proficiency. Sorry. So just 75 is 12. With that first action.
12 damage.
Yes, 12 damage.
Okay. Yeah, you slash him across the front of the thighs, and he kind of hops back, clutching his thighs, cursing at you. As
I'm reeling back from the swipe that I gave, I let one of my hands go off of the blade. Well, I actually had it was a free hand, so one of the hands the other hand that's free from the blade still pulls from the cigar that is in my mouth, and I look towards Hildegard, and I flick the lit cigar towards the enemy in front of Hildegard, with hopes of making it a little hotter within the courtroom.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll let you do that with your bonus unarmed attack. Sure. It's not that far away, so you can just kind of just throw it at him.
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and give me a ranged attack. Like you're throwing one of your darts or whatever.
And this is the one with the oil on it, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh fuck yes.
16.
Okay. So yeah, you throw it just hard enough for the lit cherry to actually kind of pop a little bit, and you see some sparks, and immediately his upper torso begins to light up. So Greg, if you want to go ahead and roll me that damage for the oil, since you threw that on him. I think that's, what is that, D6 for a flask of oil? Okay.
And it continues until extinguished, correct? Is it a D6 around? Is that how that works?
Yeah. I'll look
it's
it up.
4. I'll no. You got enough. I'll look it up, bud. Don't worry.
Cool. All right. So yes. So that he begins to alight, and oh god, he's cursing and screaming, and that's the end of your turn, sir. Next, it is Hilda's turn.
All right. So this guy, he's not the guy who's directly in front of me, who I've missed twice. He's behind him, right?
He moved up in support. Like the guy you've missed twice is standing there. This guy is, he's affected by the fairy fog, and where there's smoke, now there's fire.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's lit up. And so, yeah, you still have two guys on you, east to your side, taking some punishing hits.
Mm-hmm. Look at the guy on fire, and then look at the guy I've missed twice and say, I hate it when that happens. And try to hit him again and hopefully catch him on fire too. All right. That's more like it. Does a 22 hit?
It most certainly does.
Excellent. All right. So that and that.
So you're swinging at the non-flaming one, right?
Yes, at the non-flaming one. Where's the rest of my shit? Where did it go? All right. 7, 8, 10. 12 damage. And 3 of it is fire damage, if it matters.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. And they are, I believe, they're just straight up on fire. I don't think they have to make a... wait, no. They do need to make a save. Con save, 13.
13?
Yep.
That is a fail. So yes, you slam him right in the chest, and there's a spark And so now, and maybe some of the oil got on him too, a little bit from the splash. And so, yes, now, Hilda, you are facing 2 pirates that are on fire.
Oh, that's like the second worst kind of pirate.
Yes. The flaming pirates of Haskell Harkin. So that's that. You got anything for your bonus, or move on to E?
I'm good. I'm done.
Okay, E, it is now your turn.
Cool. Gonna use my bonus action to reactivate my freaking blast of heat. So that, I looked it up. I have to reactivate it every single time after my rage with the bonus action.
Gotcha.
So, again, 2 points of fire damage to whoever's in my 10-foot radius.
Okay.
And so there's a guy on fire. There's another guy on fire.
Yeah, Hilda's fighting 2 men on fire. You are fighting 2 men
No.
that just moved up
Okay.
this last round. And then Dakul is fighting 2 men. And then there are still some others out in the entryway.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go for one of the guys right in front of me, who's probably a little singed at this point. That is a 18.
18 does hit, yes. Sorry.
Is that one of the advantage ones that you're on?
Yeah, actually, both of the guys that you're fighting now are both lit up with.
Okay.
You had killed the one that wasn't.
You wouldn't have gotten any better, anyways.
Okay.
So that's a 12 points of damage.
Okay.
Yep. That's
And so that is
what I can
that
do.
is your- Okay. So, those guys take damage, take the fire. Okay, got it. So it is now their turn. Hilda, the 2 guys on you, they both are like patting their fires out. So they do not take any more swipes at you. The 2 guys on you, E, take a swipe. You take another 5 damage as one of them connects. Dakul, 2 guys on you. 21 hits, yes. So that's going to be... Yep, only 1 hit on that, so another 5 to you as he is fine. His saber finds, or cutlass finds purchase. The guy, one of the guys out there, sounds like he's restringing his bow. The other one fires in at you, Dakul, and misses. Is the guy just inside the door frame. And then you see Haskell Harkin. He once again pops in the doorway, and you see him pull out that same weapon, that tubular weapon with the handle, cocks it back, and he takes 2 shots. It looks like one's coming at you, Hilda, and the other is coming at you, E. Hilda, you're gonna, both of you are going to be hit. Hilda, you're gonna take 8 force damage, and E, you take 3. As these bright blue bolts of pure force slam into you and almost like singe you a little bit, like your armor has kind of a, both of you, your armor has kind of a like a singe from the impact. And he's screaming at his men, "You need to get your shit together and get that fucking robot right now!" And you know, his men are just like, you know, they're kind of freaking out a little bit. But they all stay in their places. So swinging back around, top of the initiative, with you, Elry.
Okay. Elry is going to break cover, and he is going to charge in and dive at the nearest one that's on E404. He pulls his rapier and his dagger out, and he's going in for hopefully murder time. There should be one more that doesn't have fairy or has fairy fire activated, correct? Fairy fog.
Well, the two on E were ones that moved in after she killed the one that wasn't. So both of them have fairy fire. One of them is hurt much more than the other. She just hit, I believe. And so,
Okay. Yeah, he's going to go in and he's going to. The hell with it. I am going to go in and attack the fresh one that E has not hurt, in the hopes of doing something. The first one's an 18.
that's the hit.
Yeah. Hard. Okay, that's the rapier and the sneak attack. Ooh, that's good damage. 12, 9. That's 21 on that guy. As the rapier comes in.
Yeah. So how do you want to finish this guy off as he just took a shot from E, and does not see you at all as you just.
I want the fresh one.
one. You want the fresh?
Yeah.
One? Okay. Sorry.
He bypassed it, went straight for the fresh one.
Okay.
And as my bonus action, I want to take my dagger and throw it into the other one that is engaged, the one that is weak on E.
Okay.
Oh, that might not. 13?
13 just hits.
That's not much though. It's just my. That is an additional 6 on him.
Okay. Additional 6 on him. So both of these guys are very haggard. Like I said, they did not see you coming up. You just slip right out from behind E, and you slip your rapier just under the rib cage of this guy, and you pop your dagger into the other one. It catches him in the ribs as well, and they're both just like they're not doing too hot.
And Elry is going to stay there, and Elry is going to say, "Oh, get fucked, you guys!" as he's trying to draw aggro towards him.
The bravest little halfling. Okay, so now we're back over to DeCool.
All right.
As Elry joins the fray, in blade and with boast.
All right. So from where I'm standing, the two guys in front of me.
Yep. One is not affected with the fairy fire. The other one is, and the one that is affected, you cut pretty bad last time.
All right. So I want to take I want to focus my attention to the one that does have fairy fire, the one that is hurt.
That is injured? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're attacking him?
Yeah. So after I've taken a moment to take my attention away from the flicking of my cigar, I am very upset because I do not have time to roll another. But I will take this fury out on the man in front of me that is glowing lightly from the smoke of my excellent weed.
Mm-hmm.
Pull my blade out and slash violently across him. Haha! 19!
19, that totally hits.
Right. 8 and 5 is 13. I'm mathing right now. 13.
13 damage?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And since they're close to each other, my additional unarmed bonus, I want aimed at the guy right next to me. So after I come in with the first attack, I want to shift focus to the second one.
Okay. Yeah. You slash this guy that's still affected, and he is barely hanging on to life, and he's just like sitting there, like blood spilling from his mouth as he looks like he's gonna wind up for one more strike. And so you're gonna shift over to this other guy.
My first focus as a monk was to focus on the weak. I thought he was going to fall, but apparently, my blades did not dig in enough into his gut. So I'll use my free hand, and with power I have left, with fury and anger that was moved towards my people and me extinguishing my prized possession of cigar, like to bash his face in with my free hand.
Okay.
Oh, it's a 10.
10 does not hit, sir.
They can not all to be winners now, can they?
All right, so that's that. So Hilda, we're back around to you.
All right. Hilda's going to take a look at E404. See that while they are burning and hammer-handed, they're looking pretty beat up. I'm going to say, well, E, I haven't had a chance to try this yet, but let's give it a shot. And she's going to use her bonus action to cast a healing word.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. So you get 6 back if it works.
Okay. I believe for last time we talked, I got half back from healing magic. I thought the last I haven't noted down, I think.
Well, I should have discussed this with you before we actually started.
We did a thing last time. I got really messed up.
Yeah, but I thought that was a little bit too restrictive. I wanted there to be some chance to it. So you heal the whole amount this time.
Okay.
There's going to be a little bit of give to it as far as like using mending versus healing, and so we'll talk about it later.
All right. A little bit of the dents pop back out.
Oh, good. Well, Hilda will have a brief exhale, and then she'll return to murder, hopefully, and hit. Who's in front of her? Are all of them fairy fired?
The two. Okay, so one guy on you is fairy fired. The least injured one is fairy fired. The most injured one isn't. They just finished patting out the flames of their armor and clothing.
Right. Cowards can't take a little fire.
And they're trying to return their focus back to fighting you.
I'm going to attack the most injured one then.
Okay. So yeah, he's not affected by fairy fire.
All right. So does a 17 hit them?
Totally does.
Oh, good. They only take 4. But the person, they patted out their flames, so there's no more con save to see if they're still in there. Okay, that's it. They take 4.
Oh.
I believe we're getting raided.
We're getting raided. Hello,
Raid my encounter roleplay.
Oh my god, encounter roleplay's raiding us. Oh no. Oh no. Well, hope y'all appreciate this fight that we're in the middle of. Okay, so that was Hilda E. It is back around to you.
Oh boy.
As you are the center of this chaos.
Yep. Center of chaos, that's me. E has not noticed the injuries they've taken despite having gone down to 5 HP before getting healed. So they are just going to activate again. Their whoosh.
Okay. As a fresh burst of heat flies off of E404. Dakul, the guy that you were on, he just like gets hit by this wave of heat and just kind of and just like crumples up and falls to the side dead. So one of the guys on you drops. Everyone else, they do not look happy by this this fresh wave of agony that washes over them. The 2 guys on you, they are like barely clinging to life right now. And so go for
Okay,
it.
good. Well, I'm gonna hit one of them then.
Okay, so go ahead and swing away.
That is a 19.
19's gonna hit.
That is a 13 points of damage.
13 points. So with the one on the right or the one on the left?
The one on the right.
Okay.
E is right-handed, so.
Okay, so you bring your hammer right across his face and he just drops to the ground where he stood. Kind of, it almost looks like in video games when things glitch a little bit because of all the ball bearings on the ground. So he kind of hits the ground and just kind of slides to the side when he really shouldn't, but he kind of just rolls to the side for a foot or two. And so, Jesus. So that's the end of that one. So now there are only 1 on you, E, 1 on Dakul. There's 2 still on Hildy, and it is the pirate's turn, and you hear Haskell Harlequin from inside. You know, he just lets out a curse of anger. He's like, "Oh, well, bugger this! let's get out of here, boys. And you hear him, like you hear the front door like pop open as he starts to run out. And you're not sure if he even waits for his men. The guys that are up front, they all take the disengage action and begin moving back towards the front door of the diplomat's quarter, moving through the entryway there on the far right of the map. But all of them kind of form a little bit of a line and back up through the door, and they're like, "Oh, just get out of here!" And they're all just like staring at E like in pure fear. You know, it's hard to even look at with this constant heat radiating off of them. And so they managed to kind of back through the door, and they're all kind of at the front entrance to the diplomat's corridor. And you know, in the hallway, out in the hallway of the rock, you can hear there's a commotion. Like there's people like, "Oh my God, there's fighting!" And so there's a bit of commotion as they're all running out. We're back around to Elry.
Okay.
Oh shit! I just realized something. They just moved through the area with ball bearings. Hang on.
Wait, hold on 1 second, Pruitt. I never actually dropped those. I switched to the oil. So
that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I didn't want to get you with the glitch thing because that was awesome, but it shouldn't play in our favor. So
okay. Thank you.
Can I take a shot at preferably the captain? Are they running down the hall, or are they in the doorway?
So right now, the captain, who was already out in the entryway, you heard the door fly open and he ran out. Okay, so he's already gone out, and then the guys that were in the room, excuse me, that was gross. They've already backed up, and they're in basically like some of them are moving through the doorway, and there's still about 3 of them kind of backing up and just like looking over their shoulder, and they're kind of moving out into the actual hallway of the rock itself. And you can see they're all kind of breaking right to which that would take them to that front entrance where y'all first came into the rock out from the docks. They're all moving that way.
Okay, Elry wants to sheath his rapier and dagger, go for his bow, and take a shot at one of the ones that still has the fairy fog going on.
Okay.
So he can...
there's still a couple there that you can
14 to 17. 17 plus 6, 23.
Oh yeah, that's a total hit.
Okay. They're not close to anybody, so I don't get sneak attack, right?
No.
Okay, that's 8 then.
That's 8. Okay, yeah, you Elry pops up, draws aim, and the guy just like turns around and looks at Elry right when an arrow finds him right in the throat, right above the clavicle, and he just kind of drops straight back.
I told you to get fucked. And he's going to Elry is going to advance and re-engage with the guys that are at the door.
Oh, you madman. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, the guy that's at the door he's also pretty hurt. It looks like he was one of the guys that was on fire that was fighting Hilda. So those are the 2 remaining guys that are right there at the door. They're both that. So you are technically engaged with 2 people, or at least in melee with. And Dakul, it is now your turn. As all the action kind of spilled back out into the entryway, and it looks like they're trying to make an escape after this botched attempt to commandeer E in some way. I mean, they were screaming it, so
Okay, so one of the 2 that I was fighting before died from me for his flames. So is the other guy still in front of me, or is he escaped? Did he escape Murderville and is heading towards the door?
Okay, so the other guy that was engaged with you, he did escape Murderville. He was actually the first guy that engaged with you.
Right.
The guy who was trying to avenge his friend Billy. And he has already made it out. Like it's all subjective at D&D combat, but these guys basically disengaged. They broke away. You're, I assume, giving pursuit.
Right.
You're just kind of moving up. So right now, all but 2 of them have made it out the front door. Elry is right there with his rapier out and everything. And so these 2 guys, you can engage one or both of them.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to engage both, especially if they on top of my people. Yeah, that's
okay.
That's
Yeah.
a no-go. That's a no-fly zone.
Yeah, these two guys are the two guys that were fighting Hilda. One of them, is the guy that you set on fire. The other one is the one that Hilda set on fire. And one is far worse for the wear than the other.
The one that's closest to me. Yeah, because I'm gonna try and go for the dude.
Okay. Yeah, the guy that's closer to you technically is the healthier of the two.
All right, is he still under fairy fire?
Actually, yes, he is the one that is under fairy fire. The other guy, the more hurt one, is not affected.
Okay, yeah, I definitely want to go for the first guy then, the guy that's under fairy fire. All right, yeah, it is ass kicking time. You are not going to attack my people and live to tell the tale. I'm going to pull my sword, still wet with the blood of the last man. And natural 20. Woo-hoo! Yes.
Okay.
This is what we are talking about. All right.
Roll that double die damage. And remember, you only add...
And it doubles, right?
Well, you roll the die twice. So instead of a d10, you roll 2d10, and then you just add your modifier once.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's 5 and 10 plus my modifier 5. So that's 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. And with your bonus?
What's my bonus?
As you slash him right from you slash him from shoulder to hip, and your blade finds purchase the whole way down as you slash him diagonal, and he almost drops his sword, but he maintains a grip on it.
Oh, you will have no need for that. I have rolled another 20, not natural though.
Oh, dirty 20. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to be like,
damn. And the damage for that is 8.
8? Okay, yeah, you slash him right across the chest, and he kind of clutches at that, and then you come forward with your unarmed strike. And how do you want to finish this guy off?
Oh, for this, it has to be a throat punch with my fingers, going directly into the part where the oxygen comes out. I can't think of the name of it right now because I'm feeling it, and I want to feel his trachea crack within the grasp of my fingers.
So you give him that eagle claw clutch to the throat?
Eagle claw clutch.
So yeah, you hear kind of a sickening pop, Elry, as Dakul reaches forward and just kind of collapses this guy's trachea. And he drops to the ground like gurgling and choking, trying to find air that just can't make it through a path that no longer supports air.
Elry looks at the guy that's still engaged with him, and he says, "The man's name is Dakul." It's a Roadhouse reference.
No one puts Dakul in the corner. And so that is Dakul. Hilda, it is your turn.
Alrighty. There's still one in front of me, right?
No, they all retreated. They all disengaged together. There was a call for a retreat by the captain, Haskell Harkin, and these guys, in the face of what they thought they had overwhelming odds, better than 2-to-1 odds, and then quickly y'all turned the tide on that, but they didn't break. But they did listen as soon as he said, let's get out of here, and they formed a pretty cogent defense as far as the retreats go. But yeah, there's technically, you can only see one guy, and he was the guy that you missed multiple times. But he's currently engaged with Elry and Dakul, and he's right there at the entryway.
All right. Is there room for me to get into melee?
Yeah. There's plenty of room because he's not through the doorway yet, so you can move up next to Elry on the other side, opposite Dakul, and y'all.
Right.
Yes.
All right then. Yeah, Hilda will come up and she'll say, "Hey, did you forget about me?" And she will try to hit him again.
Not with this die. You go over here. You D20. You're bad today.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this guy is not affected by the fairy fire. Remember.
I rolled a fucking 1 with the good one. You betrayed me.
So yeah, this guy is on. He's obviously fighting for his life. He's just looking around, and he ducks just out of the way as you catch the door frame right above his head and take a few like it cracks and some stone falls out of the door frame masonry. And do you have any?
Anything else I'm gonna do?
Anything else you want to do?
Not right now. She's just gonna be frustrated. She's gonna be a grumpy old lady. Ugh. That's what she's gonna do. She's gonna find another die.
Gonna find another die. Okay. So that's that. It is now E404's turn.
Well, once the murdering protocol has been initiated, it's pretty hard to get out of. So we're gonna go pursue these people. You know, the biggest threat's still there, so they're gonna just get up there and get engaged again. So
Okay. So the only problem with that is right now there are 3 of your allies, unless you have a reach weapon, or I mean, it kind of sucks because like a halfling is a halfling, and you should be able to just like reach.
yeah,
over
I should
him.
literally be able to step over the halfling.
I mean, you know what though? Technically, he can inhabit the same space as a creature that is larger with him, so you could technically just step over him and like hold the same space. Yeah, I'll allow that. I'm sorry.
Cool.
If he can move through a larger creature's space, I don't see why a larger creature couldn't step up into his space. It's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm up in their face, so whoever is closer to me is gonna get a hammer to the face. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is gonna hit.
Yep. And that is max damage, so that is 14.
14. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you just step up and you plant your hammer right in his chest, and he just you feel the air burst out of his lungs as he falls straight back through the door, kind of hits the ground in the main hallway promenade area of the rock, and just kind of slides like 4 or 5 feet before coming to a stop. And yeah, the remainder of the people continue running. Now we're out in the rock hallway area, and they are booking it. Looks like they're running straight out the front doors and out onto the docks themselves. But they are in full retreat mode.
There should be 3 plus the captain, correct?
Yep.
Is that what's
there
left?
are only 3 remaining, though the one trying to avenge his fallen friend with Dakul, and then the 2 men that were the crossbowmen that stayed in the hallway. Those 3 and the captain. And like I said, yeah, they have burst out, and they are Elry, you can kind of look as you kind of looking through the door. You see they have just gone through the front doors of the rock, moving down the stairs that go down there to the docks themselves.
Okay, we're still in combat.
It's your turn. If you want to give chase, you most certainly can, and we will kind of stay in loose initiative order.
Movement dash, bonus to dash. I want to close.
Okay, so movement dash. Okay,
bonus
so
dash.
looking at the map there for a brief second, you know with your move and your bonus to dash, you will now be like out on the kind of the front entrance of the rock, and there's some stairs that go down to the docks, and you can see the Captain Haskell Harkin. He's made good pace. You look at him, and he can book it also. And he is like almost at the end of the dock where you can see a ship just kind of like not moored, but it's just like kind of floating in space right there. And you can see him like almost to the end of the docks running full speed. So that's probably going to be, like I said, at the end of the docks, like straight away from you. So that's going to be from the front doors where you're at right now, a good 60 feet.
So it's 60 feet from...
Yeah, after you made your move and your bonus, the dash, because you're 25 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I would have moved
so, yeah.
50, and then I would still have my action.
You still have your action.
Okay. Okay. Shit. I don't know if this is gonna work. By eyeballing it, is the ship that's not moored, is it perfectly at the dock, or is he gonna have to make a jump, or?
You think that he will have to make a bit of a leap. You know, it looks like he's the swashbuckling type. It's only a few feet away, but also you've been in space long enough with some things you've seen. You know, jumps in space aren't exactly as harrowing as say down planet side.
But this is exactly what I'm counting on, because I remember what happened when we did what I would like to do out in space. He is going to dash. I'm going to use my, okay, so I want to engage the last two that are in the line. Are they within 25 feet?
Yeah, because they're not as fleet of foot as the captain himself, and so with your moves, you're able to catch up to the last, the end of the line. I would say one of the crossbowmen.
Okay. Let's do this. I want to cast Featherfall on the captain.
Okay.
So when he goes to jump, he's not going to have any weight in that elliptical space. So he's just going to bonk. And we had that happen before when they stopped dead. So I'm hoping to do the same thing. It's only a DC 13. And I think it is... What is it opposed for?
I rolled a 17.
Okay, well, he fought through it then.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Shit! Damn it! Well, he's just going to yell at the other two then. Yeah, go fuck yourselves.
Okay.
I got nothing else.
Okay. Cool. So you just saw Elry dash out the front doors of the rock.
Yeah, so I saw him dash out, and I still have Angry Man in front of me, right? My guy that's trying to get vengeance for his fallen brethren.
No. He ran off also. Like
okay, all right. Okay. So there's nobody directly in front of me. It's just
nope. They dispatched the last.
E44 and Hilda's are next to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna chase after Elry. Shoot. Can I if I dash, it doubles my speed? Is that how that works?
Yeah. You basically, if you take the dash action, that's just another move action for you. And so you could do it with your action, but you also have Step of the Wind. So if you wanted to do it for your bonus, you could do that also by spending a key point. So that would leave your action free.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I've got a way that I can reach out and touch someone.
Okay. Yeah. So if you spend a key for your Step of the Wind, you can dash, and you can actually catch up. Like Elry caught up to one of them. You could catch up and engage one of the two crossbowmen in melee. A little bit in front of them is the Avenger that failed. And then, like I was explaining to Elry, you see the captain much further down the docks, not far away from a ship that looks like it's waiting on it.
I don't think I'll have the time to reach the captain. I want to get to the man closest to Elry and exhibit a taste of my blade for him. For you.
Okay.
For no one messes with the team again. 24.
That's going to be a hit.
All right.
And this is one of the fresh guys also.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. Grab the wrong die. 9.
Okay.
9 hits.
You slash him kind of across his back. He grunts and curses in pain. And that's your actually. Yep, that's that.
Yeah.
So Hilda
knows that she can't keep up with anybody, and she is going to just man the doorway and make sure that Burke doesn't go anywhere. And she's gonna
yeah, you look back in, and I mean, there's just blood, and the inside of the diplomat's chamber is just awash in blood and ichor, and the corner of the table's broken off and kind of smoking from your first one. And just like you just see Burke like looking up over the table. His eyes are a little wide as he's kind of looking through the doorway into the little entry area where y'all are at. And I mean, it doesn't look like he's going anywhere. He's kind of on his knees on the floor, still looking over the table.
All right, she'll look at him and say, "They're gone. Go find your change of pants now." I think.
But he like gets up and it looks like he's walking towards like one of the diplomats' offices.
And she's just going to stay there, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
E, are you? What is E doing?
So I'm gonna do a little bit of the I know the player thing where they're not going to be able to reach what's happening. They are a whole lot of metal. So they're gonna. You see them start to run, but then there is some kind of whirring noises as they are suddenly slowing down from the run, and then kind of falls down as the red glow of their rage dissipates. So they're just lying on the ground now.
Oh, you're lying on the ground? Okay.
Yep, they have kind of just power down for a second.
Power down for a second as you kind of go down onto a knee in your hand, and you're kind of sitting there rebooting, so to speak.
And you see the hammer kind of disappear back into her hand.
Yeah, it kind of and becomes a hand again a little bit. Mm-hmm. And E, you kind of come to as you're looking around, and there's like a crowd of people like just wide-eyed. I mean, there's like a little kid looks like some kind of cotton candy or something, just like still eating, just like as this just chaos just ensued. I mean, this was all in under like 30 seconds. As D&D combat likes to do. That last hour and a half was 30 seconds, and not anybody really had time to react other than to just like register that something was going on, and then people burst through, and then this robot comes in and just kind of and comes down, and there's a loose ring of people that are all like looking out the front door and looking back at like, oh, what's going on? We should call the FTL fleet members. Oh my god, oh, I can't yes. And so that's there's some commotion going on out there. Out on the docks where y'all are still engaged, there's only one guy left, and wow, he actually turns and I'm sorry, no, there's two guys left here, and they actually turn on Dakul and E. I'm sorry, and Elri, and one each, and they'll be like, nobody crosses the captain like this. Saber dice rolls right there. Rolled 2 4s. Any Saber dice fans will know what that means. But these guys are rattled a bit as they're pulling their cutlasses out to strike, and just nothing finds purchase here, as they just whiff on all their attacks. So that would bring it back around to the top of the initiative technically with and as you look, you see the captain run, and he jumps and deftly lands on deck and kind of turns around in a flourish. And then you see him, Elri, like pull up that crossbow looking thing again, and you see him like fire one more time. Elri, what's your AC?
What is your attack roll? And I'll let you know what my AC is.
I rolled a 16 to hit.
Okay, it would have hit, but a energy shield pops up in front of Elri as he spins one of his rings, and a shield spell jumps up and intercepts the blast.
Okay, and does a 20 hit?
No. What if the shield spell's up until the end of my next round, right? For the reaction? Yeah. No, yeah. It is. My AC is a 21 at this point.
Oh, okay. So yes, 2 of these blue bolts of force, just like, I mean, they like hit like right in front of one of your eyes and then right in front of the other. Like, he was aiming for like 2 headshots on Elri. As
Elri doesn't blink.
this blue translucent shield like pops up over you and takes the brunt of this impact. And you see him kind of like give a bit of a nod, like a respectful nod at that. And he yells, "Wow, toss a line out and let's get the fuck out of here." And somebody tosses a line out on the docks, and the ship starts pulling away as his man, the Avenger, Billy's Avenger, runs, and like you see him like pick up the rope that they toss out for him on the docks, and instead of trying to make it to the ship, he just grabs the rope and just jumps off the side of the dock as the ship starts banking and turning away from the rock.
Okay, so we're back at the top of the initiative order.
Top of the initiative.
Elry is going to use his background ability of bad reputation for being a former pirate, and he is going to appeal to these buccaneers in front of him and say, "They left you. I mean, you're straight fucked at this point. Just let me run off." What do you want me to roll?
You don't roll anything because I mean this is technically a rivet ability, but you are using it in combat. So hang on, let me do a roll for them. Okay. Yeah. So these guys, they both like look at each other and look at you, and like they both spit at you like in anger, like, "You ain't no pirate," and it looks like they're going to continue the attack. Like they're not backing down.
What a shame. Okay, so he's going to then, if that's the case, attack them.
Okay.
His rapier, the one in front of him. Ooh, that's my first shitty one of the night. That is a 10.
10 does not hit.
Okay, he is going to what is he gonna do? He's gonna get hit. I don't want that to happen. He's fucking attack with the dagger too. Do these guys have fairy fire on them, or that's gone by now, right?
No, these guys were not in range of the fairy fire. Actually, no,
Okay,
I'm sorry. Yes, they were, because that was a 20-foot radius. So yes, I'm sorry. They are still under the effects of the fairy fire.
Okay, well, I'll use my second roll then. That was an 8 and 6 would be a 14 with the rapier, if that's what we're doing. Is that cool?
14 does hit.
Okay, so the rapier hits. Oh, that's not the best. 9 plus 13, and then he's going to attack with the offhand, and that is 16 for another 8.
Oh my god. Okay, how do you want to do this?
Very politely. He is going to run him through, pull himself up by the rapier he's just pierced into him, and draw the dagger across his throat. And he said, "What'd you say? What'd you say? I'm not a real pirate? What was that? What was that? What was that?" And he's going to ride him down. "Wait, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh, what was that? What was that? I'm the best. I am the fucking best. You heard that, Nicole."
And yeah. Yes, as this guy was trying to utter one last curse, but your blade would not allow it. As you drop this guy, perfect damage, by the way. And so that takes care of that guy. Dakul, there's one guy on you right now.
Are you sure this is the route you want to go, sir? Look at your friend. Beat down and bleeding all across the docks. Whatever it is, you shall taste my sword as well. I'm attacking. Ooh, 23.
Okay. That's going to be a hit.
Oh. May this blade find... Oh, yes. 13.
Okay.
So that first one with the blade. Yeah, man, go ahead and let me know how it looks to you before I give my free hand.
Okay. Yeah, you slashed him pretty good. You catch him across like the shoulder and the upper bicep of his of his sword hand, and you see him kind of switching hands to attack. It's a thick rivet of blood that's now running down his arm and his side.
Okay. All right, with my free hand, I want to attack again.
Okay.
Oh, 11.
11 to hit?
Yes.
11 does not hit.
I have to work on my free hand just a bit more.
Okay. So, Hilda, you're still inside?
I am. I have an ear out the door.
Okay. Yeah, you see E kind of like power down and go down to like their knees in one hand as they're just kind of sitting there. The steam has ceased coming out. The glow of heat off their back is kind of subsiding.
If that's the case, I will go up to E and sort of kneel down too and rub their back and ask them how they're doing.
Okay. E. Hilda comes up and checks on you.
Hilda, what happened?
Well, we got ambushed by some asshole pirates. E.
Why would they want to do that? I do know that Elvi possibly insulted them, which may provide motivation, but it seems irrational to attack the diplomatic offices.
I agree, it does, but, rationality isn't really a pirate's strong suit. But mostly they did it because they thought that you were valuable, and they know that you're carrying our gold. Not unlike Burke here, thinking you're valuable. But you defended yourself and you did well.
Is that what I did?
That is exactly what you did.
They scan the room, seeing all these people kind of staring at them. Why are they looking at me like that?
Well, E, I think it's because they think that you're dangerous.
Why would they think that?
Because they don't understand the difference between the capacity to be dangerous and actually being dangerous. If they actually realized how dangerous I was, they'd be a lot more scared.
I guess that is the case of what people say, judging a book by its cover.
Exactly. Hilda's gonna turn around and look at Burke and look at the ambassador, make sure they're all right.
Okay, yeah. So you go back in there, and then we're gonna cut back outside right quick. So this last guy, seeing this wound that you dealt him, you see him start to recalculate his odds, and he with a curse he just like throws his cutlass on the ground, and I yield. Please don't kill me, please. And he kind of like drops down on like a knee, and he's clutching his wounded arm with his other as he just like drops down.
All right, your asshole captain didn't come up with this plan. Who hired you guys?
The captain. He's the one. We've been on the lookout for you since the bar. Somebody tipped us off. The metal one. Y'all have thousands of gold, just right there. Who carries that kind of money around? And he just kind of spits on the ground, just pissed off.
I don't know, your mom might. But, so what was the name of the ship that you used to serve on before you're going to be, like, in a prison for the rest of your life?
You've never heard of the Harlequin's embrace?
Nope.
Well, now you have. You've heard of Captain Haskell Harkin. And he'll be back for you, don't worry.
Huh. Well, with a new crew. Yeah, I'm going to slash this guy's throat.
Okay.
Do you need me to roll something for that, or is this just
No,
instant?
I mean, he's on his knees in front of you, and yeah. And again, out on the docks, everybody's kind of works come to a stop. There were some ships loading and unloading. It was actually kind of there aren't that many ships on this particular dock of the rock, and so yeah, you just walk up and run your blade across his throat, and he was about to react, but you'd already met his neck, and so he didn't even have a chance to. And he just
while he's doing that, he takes the mage hand and puts the hilt of the sword up by his hand and drops it to the stones again, so it looks as if the guy grabbed the sword and was making a move.
All right, and so that's the last of the combatants as Elry finishes off this last pirate.
By the gods, Elry, are you okay? I do not owe
person-
you any money or anything of sorts, do I?
No, buddy. Listen, these are pirates. We don't want to look over our shoulders the rest of our lives. And this idiot would somehow end up back out in circulation. They're really not going to keep him in a prison all this time. And he's going to harbor a grudge. And, we're kind of a colorful group. And with a robot walking around and like a really old dwarf and me. And, you're smoking all the time. We can pinpoint us a bit. So here's one less set of eyes that can point out and say, hey, it's those 4 fuckers right there, so.
By the gods, you are a savage. And it is fucking awesome, man.
Oh, thanks, man. But I prefer practical. Let's get back and talk to that lawyer.
Ah, yes. Let's make haste.
Okay. So y'all make your way inside as some members of the FTL the fleet are coming from inside out and down the other ends of the docks. They're looking around like, what the hell happened here? Oh my god! And wait, we need to talk to you. Y'all were involved in this altercation, yes? As they're kind of calling after Elry and DeCool as you're making your way inside.
We were the winners.
Oh, but we need to take statements. We need to find out what happened here.
Now there's Burke. He had an eyewitness account of everything that happened as he was peeking between his fingers.
Burke, you see him like pulling out like a little pad and like he's like writing stuff down, just like you do in your standard beat cop stuff.
Right, Burke. He works for the mining guild. Peeking through his fingers, fairly certain he shit himself. You should be able to find him by that description.
And this guy like stops what he's writing and like looks up at Elry, kind of. You seem awfully casual with this kind of carnage around.
Should I be praying?
Oh, I mean, it's just don't. I mean, there's a dead man on the docks here. I mean, we need to figure this out.
Oh, if this is bothering you, you're in for a real shitstorm when you get inside. Because there's burned up people. It's all kinds of shit in there. You might want to steel yourself. You got like a friend or like a partner that can go in there and do that for you? Because you're not going to. This is bad here.
Where else did the altercation take place? We need to cordon off an area and start interviewing people. Like what happened?
Ambassador Sill's office. Well, the main office, Ambassador Sill was in there.
What?
Well, come talk with I don't know. I don't run this place.
And like at the mention of Ambassador Sill in the diplomat's office, like he like runs inside like with the.
As soon as he starts to move, Elry catches his sleeve and says, "Excuse me, sir. These gentlemen have identified themselves as my captain. Hilda likes to call them fucking ears, and we would like to see if." These fucking ears are wanted men. And if they are, then allow me to present them to you for our just reward.
I advise that you listen to this man, for he still has blood upon his hands.
Well, this guy looks a little confused. Like, one thing at a time. We need to make sure that the ambassador is okay. But I mean, yes, if there is a bounty on their heads, then you will be. You are entitled to it. Yes.
Okay,
But,
gonna write that down.
What's your name?
Elry Tossbottle,
Thank
Esquire.
Thank you, Mr. Elry Tossbottle, Esquire. Now, puts a point on the Esquire. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to make sure that the ambassador is okay. And he runs back inside.
What are you waiting around here for?
That's right. Come on now. Get.
We need to get a drink, or my good friend, let's sneak over in that alleyway. I'll stand on the left-hand side, and let's just think about things.
Oh my God.
The appropriate measures and things to help us think.
I agree.
The healthiest of coping mechanisms.
Dakul definitely rolls up.
Okay. So Dakul and Elry step over to the side and roll on up. Hilda and E, y'all are back inside. Are you moving towards the ambassador's quarters? You staying in the hallway there? What are y'all doing right now?
What's the ambassador doing?
Are you in the quarters themselves?
Well, I thought she was in the room with us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at last check, you were checking on E. Did you go back inside? I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought we were all very, very close.
Okay.
Close by.
Okay, yeah, so back in there, I mean, you can see the ambassador, she kind of comes down near the end of the table, looking at the carnage there, and she's just, like, kind of has her hand covered on her mouth, just like, I mean, she doesn't look like someone who's accustomed to seeing this sort of thing. But she's standing there, and after a minute or so, like, Burke comes out of the office that he had ducked in. And give me a perception check right quick.
Alrighty. Just a moment. That's an 8. Yay.
Okay. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Burke comes out of another office. And, you know, he's just like, you know, he's looking at this like, you know, he's a lawyer. He's a dwarf, but he's a lawyer. And he even is like, my God, it's just awful. This is awful. Like, what were they after? Like, why were they after the robot? I mean, you did hear that, right?
I don't know. It's almost like it would be valuable to them, and that they didn't think about what E might want. It's so crazy. They wanted to just take it and fuck with it. It's weird.
He kind of narrows his eyes at that, you know. And you know, the ambassador, she looks from the carnage there, and she finally looks away from it and looks up at Hilda and E, and then over to Burke, and then back to E. And I just want to thank you for your intervention here. I'm not one that is accustomed to violence such as this. That's why I chose the life of a diplomat, to broker peace. But the only danger that I see here is to those that would do you harm. And you see Burke start to protest, and she's just kind of raises a finger. So, as part of this mediation, I will say that Hilda, seeing as how you are the caretaker of E44, it seems that at this point you shall remain so until actual, and she looks over at Burke, evidence can be provided. Thank you so much for what you have done here today, for saving our lives. I need to make sure that everyone is okay, and we need to get this sorted. Oh my God. And at about that, like, some members of the FTL fleet come in, like, you know, they just work as kind of like guards here on the rock, uniformed men and women come in, and they're all like, "Oh my god!" And then the hustle and bustle of cleaning up after something like this begins, and the ambassador just kind of goes back to the other end of the room, just looking away from all of this carnage, and Bert goes over and begins to protest, and she literally just throws a hand up to him and says, "You asked for mediation, you got mediation. Please take the decision and go back to your people. If they require anything else, they know where to find me on Nero's 4. I will return there tomorrow." And with that, he huffs off, stomps off, and actually at this point, E, you're in there, right? Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
That's a 17.
17? Okay, yeah, you notice as Bert kind of walks away from the table and across the open area towards one of the offices on your right there. You distinctly, like in your files, like you can tell, like he was wearing like a brown suit, and now his pants are noticeably whiter, like they don't match anymore. And so that you just kind of notice that fact, like his suit no longer matches as he's walking.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Pruitt!
Prue! No!
Pruitt, come back!
Ah!
He just froze. He'll be back. He'll be
Oh.
back.
Welcome back.
What's up? Sorry, we had a bit of a power flicker here. That was weird.
No, if you were gone for longer than 15 minutes, we were legally allowed to level ourselves up.
Oh, fi. I got back just in time. Okay, so the Pruitt has returned.
The Pruitt has returned.
Prodigal Pruitt.
So, what was going on here?
Oh, we were
We're playing a game, right?
We were playing a game.
I think it was Dungeons and Dragons
Gotcha. All right, I'm
in
good.
space.
Yeah. Kind of a weird combo, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. And there were fucking ears.
They were fucking ears.
So y'all defeated y'all defeated the fucking ears.
We did the
Yes,
box
they are.
score recount, and that was it.
Okay,
Fire.
awesome. All right, so as you're there, they obviously want an account of what happened. As you can just kind of montage through this as they're asking, like what happened, who struck what blow. Zofia Sill, she gives her account to the main guy, and he comes to each one of y'all and asks, what happened, who'd you kill, like who burned all these people? Oh my god, it's there's the smell of burnt flesh is ripe in the room. The carpet there right at the entrance is pretty much wasted, and so yeah, there's just a kind of an after, just the afterglow of something like this in a kind of an urban area where they've kind of blocked off the hallway, and they've had everyone move on down closer to the fountain, the center of the rock, and pretty much closed off this immediate area. So that aside, is there what else would y'all like to get up to here?
Dakul with the image still fresh in his head of the captain. I want to get my sketch pad out again and just sketch his face on the pad, just for my own personal keeping.
Okay. All right. You can do that, and so Dakul is sketching there for a bit.
Ellery is checking the pockets of all the dead people.
Okay, you're checking the pockets of all the dead people?
Mm-hmm.
And
All
leaving a blood trail.
And leaving a blood trail. Okay. All right, so all told from the because I believe y'all killed 9 of them.
Yep.
So all told, You find 76 silver. You find, looks like, about 40 gold. And you find in various forms, whether it's just in their pockets or pouches, or a couple of them have like gems kind of, you see like imprint, like embedded in their teeth. But you find 9 gems total, each of which probably, you just guesstimate 20, 30 gold a pop. And then, they had their weapons, but they were all just, average to poor quality crossbows and, curved, like cutlass or sabers.
Yeah, Elry's literally there, like digging teeth out of heads and stuff with his dagger.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Boy, oh boy, what a day, huh?
Yeah.
See, I was debating the whole pirate thing and whether we're pirates, and this is getting into some territory there.
Yeah. And Elry, you start to notice as you're kind of going through all these guys' stuff that you start to notice a recurring tattoo, which is that of a woman. You see her from the back, and it looks like either somebody's hugging her, or maybe she's hugging herself and looking over her right shoulder. It's just kind of a simple.
Look like a Harlequin.
Tattoo. Yeah, you would see, like, there's, it looks like her face is painted just a little bit with bright red lips. But yeah, you see her just kind of, and it's done in simple colors of just kind of like black and white. And it looks like it's one of those things where it's kind of a tattoo that's also a little bit of an optical illusion kind of thing, where, is somebody hugging her? Is she hugging herself? But you start to notice that tattoo on each one of the men that you're searching.
Yay, I have something to draw. Poorly.
Okay. And so,
where are we all located? Just I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought that was the cheddar break.
No, it's y'all can be located wherever you like. Like I said, I don't want to have y'all just tell everything that just happened all over again. As you just, like I said, you just kind of gave statements to those people that came in to take them as they're dealing with all the carnage and everything. Elry's going around checking the bodies, and Elry, the soldier or trooper that you talked to earlier, and he, as you're searching one of the bodies, like, he comes back up and he's like, Mr. Toss Bottle Esquire, is it right?
Yes.
Okay. I did the service of checking up on all these men here,
and by service you mean your job?
Yes, I did my job. A service to the fair folks here at the Rock. And he tears off a piece of paper. You can claim this at the customs office. And it has the names of 4 men written down.
Ooh. Okay, warrants on 4 fucking years.
It's like the other men we had no record of, but from markings and description, 4 of these guys had bounties on their heads. So,
Thank you very much, Constable.
You're welcome, sir.
The cool wants to grab the attention of the constable and show him the sketch that he just has.
Mm-hmm.
And tell him there will be gold for anyone who knows the location of this man.
I'll say that. Damn. Actually, give me a check on your artistry, so that'll be your dexterity plus your proficiency.
So it is a damn over like, oh wow, that's a really good drawing. Damn, I have no idea what the heck that is.
17.
Well, 17. Okay, no, yeah, he's like, damn. He's like, well, if you knew the whereabouts of Captain Haskell Harkin, you would make a pretty penny. So, yeah. Wait, he was here?
Yes, he was here and he was terrorizing my friends.
Oh, well, shit. Okay, yeah.
He is the reason why blood has been spilt.
Well, that changes things. Okay.
Where can we find information about this man?
I mean, this guy's like he's all over the spheres along this arm of the vortex. I mean, I've heard his name uttered in the Roche sphere, as far west around the arm as the Toho sphere.
So he is a man of well renown.
He's been around a few times. Yeah, he's I mean, he's a pirate, smuggler, pretty ruthless. So
okay,
good on you. Wow.
Well, if you know anyone who happens to come by this man and by you tell them that we are looking for him.
Oh, I mean, hell, we've been looking for him for a while.
Is there a reward for? Is there a bounty on his head?
I'll say there's a bounty on his head, and you're gonna have to find the highest bidder. I mean, like I said, there's bounties on his head in multiple spheres, from what I've heard.
Does he ever happen to hang around the Stock and Eye?
Well, I mean, I'm honestly shocked that he actually showed his face in such a populated port like this. I mean, he generally sticks to, to the Badlands, to the former human territories.
I understand.
We're trying to carve it out of those pirates and ruffians' grip, but it's been tough. I've done a couple of tours up there. It's not pretty.
Okay. Here, you can keep this photograph. It is already in my head.
Thank you. Wow. I'll put this up on the wanted board.
Do I still have an action?
I mean, we're out of combat, so
okay, yeah, all right. I definitely want to find Hilda, and I need some help. Is there any way you can help me mend these wounds, Hilda?
Sure. Let's see what we have here. And she'll get out her little tools and she'll sort of inspect your wounds and mess with them a little bit. And this might burn a little bit, but it's okay. It's supposed to. And
you said a little bit. That is more than a bit.
Don't be a big baby.
It's burned to the bone.
It's it's fine. It's already over. Jeez. All right. So you get not bad. You get 10 back.
That is excellent.
Okay. And so, we're out of combat. So if y'all would like to take a rest and recuperate your wounds, by all means, you can do so. What is y'all's next what's y'all's next moves here?
A short rest?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, y'all can take whatever rest you want. It's still like early afternoon,
Have not forgotten about Hellion, have you?
I can hear his cries in the back of my head.
Hello?
His cries, Hellion. It goes, wee, 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 wee. We must find our partner. I told him I had made a promise that we shall find him and free him before he turns into hamster stew.
I still do not understand why you then gave him up. That made the process of keeping him safe much more complicated.
I needed information, and at that time, it was the only way I could get that information. But we shall free him, and it will be the right decision. Who is with me? Elri? Hilda, let us match our brothers together so they can squeak together.
Absolutely. What they were born to do.
E404, how much room do you have in your chest compartment?
It depends on what you were trying to put in there.
I'm talking about smuggling rodents.
I do not know how conducive it would be to small, fragile creatures, but they would fit.
Hey, DM, what time is it?
It's early afternoon, probably around 2-ish.
Are the shops closed?
Oh no, not at all. It's a hustle and bustle. I mean,
Okay.
it's y'all are kind of resting, and after a little while, the area there around the Diplomats corridor kind of opens back up a little bit to traffic, and people are looking as they're walking by, but the doors have been shut, and so yeah, I mean, but yeah, things are still open.
Harry, I know you do not want to save our rodent brethren, but we will need all hands on deck in order to sneak in and free Hellion. You are one of the best sneakers around. We need you.
Listen, I just don't see where. What's the end game is? We're gonna, by hook or by crook, we're gonna piss off the Gnomish Mafia for a rat. I can't wrap my head around this one, buddy.
It's a part of our monk tradition. We value life. I know this may seem a tad bit difficult when you are drenched in the blood of your enemies. But during times of peace and times of fantastic talking, we must celebrate life. And Hellion is a perfect example for us to keep our blood-soaked humanity.
But we're gonna have to feed it.
It will nurse on the herbs of my pocket in the carrots.
That's what I'm worried about. There won't be enough for everybody else. But listen, did you see how big the mom got?
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to be riding this thing before long.
Exactly. You cannot tell me you do not want to ride a long-toothed rodent.
Not one that's covered in shit. That one was covered in shit.
This is coming from the man covered in blood.
Yeah, but this isn't mine. They're living and rooting in their own shit. I can't get my head around this one.
Do not think that was its own excrement. That was the tar that it was living in, so therefore it would not be a problem, Ellery.
That's right.
It chose to live in someone else's shit then. I mean, that's psychopathic. I mean, what are we going to do here? It'll choose to live in our shit.
What if we promise to bathe him in fragrances and oils?
It'll smell like somebody is rolling shit through an oil shop.
You have to give Hellion a chance. I think it is the power of his nozzle. Once he gets in your nook, it is hard to turn your back.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'll help you guys. I'll always help you guys. But I am, just for the record, I am stating this is a terrible idea. The gnome scares me a bit. He's constantly talking about the day before his grand opening, like it means something more to him than it should to anybody else that runs a shop.
Ah, that is an excellent point. We should rob him in the middle of his grand opening. Thank you, Harry.
True, Ellery, he does seem really loaded.
This man must pay.
Might I remind you that we are currently loaded as well?
Yes, but this is life we are talking about. This man wants to eat a rodent. Why? Who here eats rodents?
I know of many species that partake in eating rodents. It is a form of nutrients and protein. It's a legend.
But we are going to leave this particular set of protein. Ellery. The cool takes his goggles off so he can give him that look. Ellery.
What?
Ellery.
What?
You know we both owe each other.
I know.
So at first light, that's the opening, the grand opening. he shall be distracted. We shall go in with a plan to buy, but we are really going to steal. Besides, you need to buy new clothes anyways. Look at you. You look like a walking massacre. We buy you some new clothes. We can stash the rat in E404.
Okay, I'm going to do this, but I want you to replay that last sentence that you spoke to me over and over in your mind until it makes absolutely zero sense. We're going to get me new clothes until we can stash the rat in E404. I'm all aboard now.
Yes.
That's the last 5 minutes of conversation.
That is my friend. I love you all.
Oh my god. Whew.
Okay. So
You get that, Prue?
yeah. I had to sorry. Just 1 second. All right, so the plan is there I would like to wait the night, and in the morning during that, the day of his grand opening, you would like to attempt to rob the store. Is that
I think pretty much you got, yeah, right?
It seems like a feasible plan from here.
okay?
We went from taking back the hamster to robbing the mob.
Well, taking the hamster is robbing the mob, technically. So it's not that much further.
Yes. Think of
Okay.
it as an adventure. Maybe we can figure a way out. We'll work on our exit strategy once we are already there.
Okay.
Hey,
So
Harry, I know one more thing. If we're going to rob this mob boss and steal his pets that he shall nourish himself on, you might as well steal the gold and silver that line his pockets while we're there as well. Ah, you like that, don't you, Harry? It's gold and the possibility of fame and infamy.
Okay, you don't have to sell me anymore. I'm going to help you out. But when we are surrounded by 2'4" spit curls standing all around us in a sea of gnome, I am going to look at you. I am going to stare at you with the worst look. And I'm not going to say a fucking word.
In the tongue of my hamster brethren, in their tone of thanks, we shall say,
You don't speak hamster.
it sounds like hamster to me.
I never
I'm
listened.
just glad you're on board. So yes, DM, that is our plan.
So your plan is to steal. Okay.
We lost
Well-
Kiana.
Yeah. Kiana dropped off. Yeah, we dropped her. All right. So this sounds like a fun big endeavor. So, y'all want to do that in the morning? Yes.
Oh yeah, I want my luck back for this shit.
Okay.
I think that would be the smart decision.
Alrighty. So, would y'all like to do anything else before? I mean, you have the rest of this day and the night to rest. Big heist first thing in the morning. Would y'all like to do anything else on the rock here before we kind of hit fast forward to that moment?
Why don't we pick up our bounty and see if there's a bounty on the Dawn?
I like the way you think.
Okay, so yeah, y'all head over to like kind of the little customs office there, right near the front entrance. Elry's already been there once. It's a little bit later. Had a little bit of a shift change. You walk in and you see human female. You know, she's probably in her mid-20s. She's behind behind her little lectern there, right when you come in. And she kind of looks up, like, "Yes, can I help you?"
Oh no, but we can help you.
Oh,
And
yes.
he hops up onto the table and stares her in the eye as he's still covered in now dried blood. We were told after we murdered in fair combat these dastardly fucking ears that we were to come here and claim the bounty on 4 said fucking ears. I can't tell you what they would have done had they been allowed to walk around this station, but I think it's all in the name.
Well, she stifles a bit of a giggle, and let me see who these were. She like pulls out a little ledger and flips through it. Okay, and she writes down, finds another name. Okay, and she finds all 4 names, and she writes down that, and she's like, "Oh well, we would like to thank you. These men were wanted for larceny, for murder, for smuggling, general piracy here in the Nero system. And so you made a nice 400 gold. They each had 100 gold bounty on their heads."
Okie dokie.
Well done.
Thank you.
And
it was mostly my friends.
And she kind of looks you up and down over. She's like, well, I mean, unless you were just kind of standing in the splash zone, it looks like you mixed it up just a bit.
I can mix it up a bit.
I'm sure you can.
And Elri smells chum in the water. Well, I seem to have the rest of my evening free. I'm gonna get cleaned up a bit. I have an absolute clown of a thing I have to do tomorrow, but tonight it might be fun to have some grown-up conversation, some drinks, a little nightlife, some dancing. You seem like a very interesting individual, knowing all of these things about people being, wanted for money, and you're pretty. Let's go with that.
Well, aren't you a forward one? But I don't know. She's like writing, and she just kind of slips you a piece of paper. And she's like, "Well, I get off just before dinner." So.
Okie dokie. I'll give you a call. And he puts the copper out, and as he's walking out the door, he points back to her and whispers, "See you after dinner." She can hear it as he casts message.
Well, we'll see how much.
Now,
if you look at the note, it just says Nancy, Stalk and I for dinner.
All right, guys, I gotta go get cleaned up.
Nancy, what's her official position again?
She's like
now or when she gets off work.
she can fill many positions.
Oh my God! What a way!
It's still going. Hang on, and it's in the stands.
Okay, I had to mute myself.
We're calling the shots over here.
Just Roy Hobbs that shit.
And we lost Kiana again. Nancy, right now, Nancy is basically functioning as kind of like the harbor master. She deals with like customs, any kind of issues with docking or whatever.
Okay.
All
right.
But she's on call for all that.
You seem to be in a position of authoritative power. I had an interest in building a shop within your bazaar. Who would I talk to find out how that is possible?
Oh, well, you would, and she kind of looks over her shoulder, like deeper in the office, like, you'd have to talk to the manager of zoning. I'm not sure if we have any openings as of yet, but there is the open bazaar on the west side that I believe you could at least open a small kiosk. But as far as like actual standing, walled off businesses, I believe that the Rock currently is full, or at least it will be back to full capacity tomorrow when investments reopens.
That is fine. I would like to be pointed in the right direction to speak with this man. I am interested in looking at the floor plan in the event that somebody else within the bazaar moves out. and we can start our business.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you would like to look at a floor plan, I can provide one for you right here. And
That would be most excellent.
she pulls out like just a piece of parchment that just has, you know, an like a top view of the rock, and you know, all of its establishments filled in.
Okay. With this piece of information that I'm looking at, is it just an overall? Is it the same map that we've been using as reference, or is it more detailed, or I can see like a little more specific? Hold on, let me ask that as the code. I am looking to find a spot with a specific floor design. That is a store that I was in earlier that really hit home for me, and I would like a spot to look exactly like that. The name of the what is the name of the store? Oh shoot.
The clothing store?
Yeah, the clothing store we're about to rob.
Investments?
Investments. There we go. Good job, team.
Yes, I mean, yes, in investments is, you know, just has recently come under new ownership. I believe, the good Donathan Colaroni just purchased it, and he will be opening it tomorrow. Actually, I haven't actually seen it yet. I'm interested to see what he did with the place.
The floor plan is most excellent. When we open our own store, we would like one exactly like that. Do you have a copy that I can use to maybe get my imagination movie on how we want our own floor plan as well?
You were talking specific floor plans. Yes. I don't see a problem with that. Hang on, just 1 second.
Thank you.
And she goes back out, goes back to the back, and after, you know, another minute or two, she comes back out with a kind of a larger piece of rolled parchment, and kind of puts it on her lectern. And she's just like, well, I mean, obviously I can't give you this, but I don't see any harm in you looking it over.
Yes.
And so, yes, this is the first floor of the store itself.
Okay.
And she will unroll that for you to see. And you can kind of see, you know, the interior of the shop itself. And if you actually look up on the screen there, you'll be able to see kind of the interior of it. And she points out, you know, this is the main shop itself. There is a bit of a back area, I assume for alterations and general relaxation of the employees. It is multi-layered. There is a second floor as well as a basement, but this is just the layout of the first floor itself.
Yes. This is exactly what we are looking for. Some of the goods that we may be selling in our particular store, we would need some privacy. Is there a back door that we can use for the loading in and out of our wares?
Well, I mean, we don't. I'm not sure. I mean, I know that there is a side entrance to investments for the loading and unloading of bulk cargo. It is built into the wall, and so it's you can't really actually see it on the side wall there. But other than that, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how I can help you.
Oh, that is a tremendous help.
Yeah,
it is important that people cannot see what we are moving in and out. And if there is a side door, then that should help greatly. I see that you said that there was a basement and a top floor. Would you happen to have any idea what is in either of those?
Oh, again, I am not sure. Storage. I know that the top floor is generally like or at least the previous owner used it as a living suite. I know that Mr. Colaroni, I know he has residence here in the actual residential quarter, so I'm not sure if he uses it as such there. But I know that he has spent quite a lot of his time at the store itself. But
okay. You have been most excellent of help. I'm curious, is everybody else around me looking at this too? Is it just me?
I mean,
It's just me and Elry in here right now, right? Or Hilda's right
I
behind
thought
us.
everybody came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody would come in. E would definitely be scanning these and putting them into their files.
Ah, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. What time does your office open tomorrow in case I have additional questions?
Well, we are open around the clock. We are receiving shipments all the time, so there's always someone here.
Oh, one more question. If something was to be shipped into a store, what time should the shipment arrive?
I mean, again, we are getting shipments in 25 hours a day.
Yes.
So,
thank you for the information. It has gone a long way into helping our decision.
You're welcome. I certainly hope that we can get some free space here at the Rock to house your business. Unfortunately, like I said, right now there is no actual overhead space available, other than again that in the open bazaar.
Thank you so much. With that, the Cool is going to step out for a second while that image is fresh in his head and just sketch it on a sketch pad just in case E44 missed something.
Okay. And so, does everyone leave the customs office then at that point?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So, what are y'all doing for the rest of the evening?
We know what Elry's doing. Daku will go back to his quarters and plot and plan for our haste tomorrow. Elry, please do not be too faded tomorrow. I need you at your best.
Oh, don't worry. I will be A-okay.
At least wash up in the morning. Nobody wants to smell your evening.
How dare you? And I will.
Alrighty. So, Elry, you meet Nancy for dinner. It is a pleasant evening. I will leave that to whatever imagination you would like to use for it.
Is my luck restored the next morning?
You certainly got lucky, so yes.
Okay. A halfling never kisses and tells, but as long as I have all my luck back, it was good.
All right. So it is the next morning, and you're standing around the front door of investments, and there's a big red ribbon across the front door, and you see Elry and Dakul. Y'all see Bobble Lodel there on one side of the doorway, and on the other you see, which now you know his name, Donathan Colaroni. And as you walk up, there's a small crowd of people. All of these people are, you can tell by their dress, they're a little bit, they're the upper crust. Not really any weapons to be found, all in velvets and fine fur and leathers. Haughty elves and well-groomed and manicured dwarves. A few halflings with kind of like Elry, but a little more gaudy, like rings on every finger. Businessmen and women of all shapes and sizes are standing around as you kind of come in on the Don's speech, as he's holding a pair of like oversized scissors, which look even more silly because they're like oversized for a human, so they're about as tall as he is, and he's just kind of like has his arm kind of propped up on them, and you know, he's, like I said, he's kind of looks like he's kind of at the end of his speech, you know. And so, yes, with just a dream, I managed to make it where I am today, where I am here because of my silk trade and business acumen. I am opening investments for the general public. Please come on this, the day of my grand opening, and he snaps the ribbon, and it falls away as there's an uproar of just polite clapping, and Bobo Lodal opens the door to investments, and that's where we're going to leave off for this week. As the party is preparing to rob the store and the Don on the day of his grand opening. And we shall find out next week what happens when you cross the Gnomish Mafia. But until then, players, friends and all, let's have a round of applause for that fun evening. And let's go ahead and go around to cast and crew, find out what you're thinking, how you liked it. So we'll as always, we'll do reverse order. So starting with Kiana, how was that?
That was always so much fun. I fell out of my chair once, almost did it a second time. I think this is going to just be the new thing now. Can we make Kiana fall out of her chair? The answer is probably yes.
Yeah, put it on the Starward Bound drinking game list.
Yeah. No, it's so much fun. It's always so interesting to play out the combat with this group because I never know what's going to happen other than murder.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know. It's super fun. Chat, you were awesome. Lovely having you guys there, being fantastic. And for the raid, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so always looking forward to this, and I can't wait for next week where we're going to literally rob the mob. Like, I mean, Kiana is just like, this is awful, this is a terrible idea. And then E's just like, okay. Big clunky robot. It's gonna be interesting, but it'll be fun. You guys can find me over on the internet at Kiana S over on Twitter and Twitch. Twitter is usually where you can find me. I love talking about all sort of things in terms of tabletop and characters and whatever else life like to throw at me and all of you guys. Definitely hit me up over there. I am on Encounter Roleplay on Mondays with Greg as my keeper for Atomic Cthulhu, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, where Greg is determined to kill all of us several times over and over again. So if you want to see a lot of death in 1950s Call of Cthulhu, that's the place to go. I am on a Sunday podcast called Lady Slaying Dragons, where it's me and a couple cool ladies talking about all sorts of things tabletop. So new episodes releases every Sundays at 9 Eastern. And super cool announcement that I get to make now. I am starting a new mini-series called Life on Mard. It is starting on Off the Table over on May 4th. It is every Friday, every other Friday, starting May 4th. And the premiere episode, I got to play with frickin' Matthew Mercer as a fellow player. So that's crazy. That's my life right now. So I'm playing a insane desert prophet, which is going to be fun. So Twitter is the best way to keep up with all that, and I'll see you guys around.
Kiana, I am so happy for you and just as jealous, all in the same breath. I can't wait to see that. It'll be the day before my birthday. Happy birthday. Oh my God, it's going to be great. So moving on, Greg, how did you like it? And tell us where everybody can find you.
Oh, I had a great time. I look forward to this game so much. I love playing with everyone here. I love the story that's going on, Pruitt. It's just super duper fun. I get so excited. I break all kinds of RP etiquette and step on people's lines, and I'm sorry I do that. I just get real fired up. I will try not to do that anymore. Like I said, Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters, which I think I did something here. I don't know. There we go. Follow me on my channel. I'm over on Encounter Roleplay, like Kiana said. You can see me Mondays. You can see me Wednesday afternoons. Not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, playing with Pruitt as we start up our next devastatingly suicidal mission in Cthulhu. You can see me on Friday evenings on Wizards of the Coast with a little learn by play action from 6 to 9 Eastern. But on my channel, on every Sunday from 7 to 9, we do Pulp Cthulhu, which is a Nazi punching Indiana Jones meets The Watchmen meets anything else cool we can think of from the pulp age. We have a lot of fun, great cast. Also starting a week from Friday, Firefly, Tales from the Big Damn Verse. begins, and we will jump into Joss Whedon's opus and have a whole lot of fun. And then starting a little bit later in May, Conan, Age Undreamed Of. More info on that coming up. But guys, just stop by. I love it here. Let's wrap.
God, you're part of so much great gaming. That's freaking amazing. Trey.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Trey Murphy, aka the cool, the half elf Kinsey Monk. I'm over here trying to help save lives, man. I don't sit on top of a mountain top praying and smoking weed to just kill innocents, except for when I got to choke people out and crack their throats. That's an exception because that dude was an asshole. But our hamster friend is not, and he deserves saving. So you can hit me up on Twitter at Sintel on Twitter and on Instagram as well. My big plug for my for my nonprofit that I help run called Lights Camera Discover, where we teach the filmmaking process and, more importantly, the storytelling elements to young youths. Please check us out. We are on the Twitter space, Facebook, Instagram as well. Man, what a great episode yet again. Man, I don't know what to think when it comes to us. I mean, whether it's us on flying spaceships, literally, or in bathhouses, or watching my friends get covered in blood, to fighting the mafia. I mean, really, you have no idea what's going to happen next. And with this crew, it could go left real quick. So I'm just happy to have another Super Bowl again next week and get this thing started. Thank you to everybody who is viewing. Big props to everybody that's behind the scenes. Big props to you, Prue, cast, crew, everybody. It's all love. Mwah. Peace out.
Thanks, man. And finally, Emma.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you got an Isis there. Hi, Isis.
Yep.
That was such a fun game. This is the highlight of my week. It really is. It's wonderful to be here with all of you. I don't have anything else cool that I'm doing. All of my cool is invested in WebDM, where I am the communications director. And I suppose a little bit in my kid, but whatever. And so, yeah, I'm the communications director of WebDM. Talk to us about anything. A lot of you already do, but please keep on doing it. Tell us what you think is cool. Tell us what you might not think is cool. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you don't want. Tell us what excites you. All those things. We're here to talk and we answer. Check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, Twitter WebDM Show. And yeah. Keeping on going, Prue.
Awesome. So I just want to say thanks to cast and crew, everybody out in chat. It was a fun time hanging out with y'all. I got to actually interact with y'all a little bit more with all this RP and combat. But be sure to follow us here on Twitch, on Twitter, follow WebDM Show, head on over to YouTube. If you're over here on Twitch and you have that Prime sub, the Amazon Prime gives you one free one a month. Go ahead and send it WebDM's way. You won't be sorry. Also, WebDM, we just launched another channel on YouTube for all of our live play shows. So it is WebDM Plays. If you search for that on YouTube, you can subscribe there, and all of these games will be archived for into perpetuity, or until the solar flare wipes out us all. And so also head over. I need to learn how to talk. Head on over to Patreon, because if you follow us there on Patreon and become a patron, you could have WebDM 5 days a week, including our Wednesday show, the 2 live games, and then we have Patreon stuff on Monday and Friday. One last thing, I want to give a shout out to Alexa Bonner, the artist who has created the majority of this artwork you're seeing. You can follow her on Twitter at Alexa, that's ALEXHA _art, at Alexa Art. And also got to give a shout out to Brandon for bringing the heat with all the changes and the music cues and everything. He's at War Eagle Keep on Twitter. He's doing the good work from behind the curtain. So we'll leave it there. Next week, we'll find out what happens when you try to cross the mob, especially the gnomish mob. But until then, as we always say, may the dice ever roll in your favor.